It's been a while since I've done a studio tour, and a lot of things have changed. I've actually moved to a completely different studio. I thought it would be fun to do an honest studio tour, as they're called, so I'm going to show you everything as it is. I didn't take the time to clean it up or organize it. This is just how it is while I'm working. I occasionally go through and clean. I'm not an extraordinarily messy person when it comes to my office. So let's go ahead and take a look at my studio. So you come in the door, and then this is what you see. My computer. Right now what I'm doing is I'm preparing to render a video in Adobe Media Encoder. I have my Cintiq here, Cintiq 27 QHD Touch. This is just a regular Asus 24-inch monitor. And then this is a Samsung 50-inch HD TV. So I use all three of these monitors together, but most of the work, all the drawing and the editing videos and stuff I do on the Cintiq here. Now in front of that, if I sit down in my chair here, in front of that, then I have this kind of setup here where I have my webcam, which is on a very small GorillaPod clamped onto the shock mount for my condenser microphone, which is an AT4040. And this is the Logitech Brio, which allows me to live stream using XSplit, which you can see in the background there. So you can see I do this really nice live stream setup. I have my Logitech Craft keyboard here, great keyboard. My trusty Logitech marble mouse. Got my phone here so it can bug me constantly. Over to the side is kind of a mess. This is kind of, I guess, this is the lazy area where it's never really going to be organized. You got a lens cap, tripod shoe, a coaster that I'm not even using, even though I've got all these other drinks here. Pitcher of water and a Brita filter. I got some water bottles and some LaCroix here, which I'm going to drink. Old yogurt container, old dirty glass, extra mouse. And then down below that, there is kind of a random, I don't know, it's like little things like safety pins and sticky tack in case I need it for something. I have some other paper stuff down here, artist's color wheel, just because I might want to use this as an example. Some examples of graphic design projects that I'm working on. These are just drafts that, basically just keep. And then, when you're doing close-ups of your hands, it's always nice to have good nails, so you gotta have this manicure kit here. Otherwise, you record a video and you're like, man, look at that thumbnail, dude. Clip that nail. So anyways, gotta keep your hands in order with the stress ball, right? And then I got some random boxes for stuff that I may or may not be reviewing. Big old bag of vitamins. More vitamins. I'm a vegetarian, so it's nice to have B vitamins for energy and just because I need them. So that's kind of the mess area. You might be wondering, why is there a moving blanket on your wall? Well, behind this is a sliding closet door, and being as I'm trying to record right here, all of that noise that I make is going to bounce off of everything, and it's going to create echo because it's a very small room. If we look at the entire room, it's not very big. And I'll get back to more of the other stuff in the room in a minute here. But basically, since I'm so close to this wall, I need it to kind of absorb some of the sound. And then, so I guess we'll kind of, I don't even know which direction to go here. So here's the closet. I just kind of put random stuff in there. I have the tripod here, which normally will be used to record the screen over my shoulder if I need to do that. Got some digital art shirts in my closet here, and then this closet is kind of a place to put random stuff that I need. Behind the door, there's a reflector, folding table for when I do product reviews, another tripod, some artwork. And then behind me, same kind of principle, these are acoustic foam tiles, which absorb some of the sound that would reflect back and forth in the room. Now, this is not by any means like an actual legit acoustic treatment for a room. I'm just doing what I can based on what I have. So, this is probably not like the most efficient setup, but it actually does remove a lot of the reflective sound in my office. And it makes it so I can get good quality audio recording. So I'll stick over here a bit more. Here's kind of my desk where stuff just ends up. I got chopstick and card reader, remote control from my fan because it gets really hot in here since it's a small room, and I have like these lights going and my computer and all these screens going. You can imagine how hot it gets. Got an Elgato. I got a cloth to clean my screen. There's a little tripod sitting up back there so I can put this camera that I'm using onto that tripod and film myself if I need to. Various cables back here. I have my monitor on an Ergotron arm so I can actually lift it up and put it in a different position if I want to. Of course, I'd have to move this tripod somewhere else. And I would have to just swing this over. Very convenient. It took me a while to kind of figure out what the optimal setup for this microphone and camera were, and I combined them into the same thing on a microphone boom arm. It's perfect. Just got a long USB 3.0 cable. That's solid. So then that can just be out of my way. It's not always blocking my view. So then I can take the Ergotron now. I can just, lift it up, and if I want it to float there like that and be in that position, very easily do that, and I can position it wherever I want. Now, it kind of takes two hands to do this. I'm holding a camera with one. I didn't really plan that out very well, but there we go. More or less back to where it was. Some vintage crayons on my desk to kind of remind me of where I started. Plus they smell good. I got an extra hard drive. I got some old Bose speakers. I really need to replace those with some proper studio monitors. Extra hard drive back there. This is kind of an interesting thing where there's a subwoofer and then like a Lazy Susan kind of thing for a TV on top of that, and then the TV on top of that, and that's on top of like a little bench thing that's kind of built into the wall. So I'm utilizing that space really well by putting this there. Otherwise, I'd be, all this stuff would be like sticking out a lot more. I'd have a lot less room behind me to sit. And of course, there's a window back there if I want to look out of that. Some artwork on the wall. There's a lamp. You don't care about the lamp. Wires everywhere. This is kind of the area of the room that I don't really go in. It just kind of stores stuff. There's an easel here, which I use to hold my Cintiq Companion 2 or drawing tablet if I ever want it on the easel. And then on the floor, there's a soft mat, which I use to do my steps with my Fitbit. If we go down here, there's some random things that I might need, memory card readers, USB drives, stuff like that. This is a Scarlett 2i2 USB interface, which I use to plug my microphone into and my speakers. And here, you have the computer. I know it's not good to put your computer in a box because it'll overheat, but it cuts down on the sound quite a bit. So I do it. Extra hard drives, very dusty. You can tell that I don't dust in here. So that does it for the desk. Now this thing is a backdrop if I ever need it for anything. It's on wheels. I pretty much made this MacGyver style. So it is some felt from a fabric store. I just wheel it on over here. You can really see how it's built. So this is like a clothing rack or something. There's a bar and it hangs from it. And then I basically just clipped this stuff on here. Behind there is not really much to see. Humorous painting of myself as a juggalo, which I was for Halloween. I'm not down, I just thought it was funny. And it's a digital print. And I've got my scanner stacked on top of my printer with some weird chest of drawers things that holds extra stuff. And then this is kind of where it starts to get cool. Bookshelf with Cintiq Companion 2, which I'm kind of using since I have the mobile studio now. This is actually more or less getting used as a monitor for when I'm recording because it gives me a bigger LCD or a bigger screen to look at because I can actually connect it to my camera, which is cool. More vintage crayons, Egon, the frog. And then I have an Omnicharge, some various cables and pens and other little chargers and things like that that are conveniently placed there. And then I have boxes for some tablets, some art-related games that sometimes I play in live streams. Beneath that, Ninja Turtles puzzle that I found at the thrift store, some Super Mario Brothers 3 toys that came with a McDonald's Happy Meal collector's case, which I got as a present from my partner with some Ninja Turtles in it, but those are displayed elsewhere, but this is an original case, pretty cool. Some books, various stuff that's like inspirational photos that I might use for reference or just to kind of, get ideas going, stuff about places and space and history, Alice in Wonderland, some stuff about the Doors, some random art books. And then there's kind of another little cabinet thingy, not a cabinet, but shelf thingy. These are a whole bunch of my sketchbooks from over the years. So, look through, it's just kind of stuff like this. And then more board games. Here's the level of camera bags. So I got like microphones in here. This is where I would put the camera that I'm using. Got my GoPro in here. I got just random stuff like microphones and cables in here. If we move on up, just some random stuff. G.I. Joes. And there's a painting that I did, which is a portrait that I was commissioned to create. Got Transformer. We got Tongue Lasher, He-Man character, Final Fantasy VII behind him, NES Advantage. This is random stuff, that I enjoy collecting. Super Nintendo, also a present. I got this for my birthday for my partner. She gets really good presents. As you can tell, Ninja Turtles and Super Nintendo, pretty awesome. Then I have a light bright, which I used to add my logo to. Now, I thought this would be a cool thing to have on in the background because, I could blink like that and show my logo, and wouldn't that be cool? But it doesn't stay on for more than like a minute or two, and then it turns off automatically. So that doesn't work for recording. Encino Man on VHS, why not? Then up here, we have the Ninja Turtles. Now you'll notice I am missing Michelangelo, but he'll be coming along soon. Leonardo, Raphael, Master Splinter, Genghis Frog, Mutating Rocksteady, and Bebop. Behind that then, we have the VTech Video Painter, which is actually technically like the first digital art tablet that I ever owned. I have a video of me reviewing it if you want to check that out to see what it does. Pretty cool. I have one of my first pens from my older drawing tablets that I don't use anymore. And of course, this guy here is holding everything up. It's a Salvador Dali-esque painting up above that. And then if we move on over to this little shelf here, got the Mobile Studio Pro camera that I don't really use that much anymore, but it's there in case I need it. Some artwork, some stuff charging, some comic books here, old Spawns, Shadowhawk. I think these are mostly Image comics. A print from a Native American artist that I got from one of my friends for my birthday. And then this goes on the back of my chair to make it blend in with the green screen whenever I use that. And then an extension cord, you'll know what that does. There's a shirt on the floor. So that is pretty much everything in here. Now, I do have another room that is on the other side of this wall, and that's where I have more of these softbox lights. The room is about the same size, and I use that to do more full body stuff if I want to be up against the wall and show more of myself. Then I can do that in that room. It gives me more room to do photography and video and stuff, and it's also storage for a lot of the extra stuff, but I'm not going to show you that. This is all the cool stuff, I promise. So there you go, that was an honest tour of my creative space. If you enjoyed this video, take a quick second to click the like button. And if you're new to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. I have a lot more videos for digital artists like you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.